Howdy, folks. I watched this video. It's called WTF is Bellgab. And I used to post a lot on Bellgab. I still read it. I don't see much to post there because they don't talk about things I talk about. I'm not into Art Bell and all that stuff. I'm one of the many people that went to Bellgab for a different reason. But we're going to see what that all is in a second. This is, hey, oh God, I hate that name. It's Hey Everybody, Aaron's. Not new channel, rebirthed, it's just her having flipped out, deleted everything and started over again. But she's talking about Bellgab. And I have a history with Bellgab. Like I said, I don't consider myself associated with Bellgab anymore. But not because I dislike there's nothing there that ever interests me whenever I pop in. I basically only post on a channel called, or a forum called Bellgab, and really only in the Falky thread, and because it's active. That's it. Nothing to do with any of the posts, nothing. So let's see what she has to say about this channel right now, and let's correct a whole bunch of shit she gets wrong.
Then a man named George Senda came along.
Okay, then a man named George Senda came along. First of all, she was talking about what the channel's about, Art Bell, and why she loved it. And they all were having fun talking about Art. He's just a late night AM radio show that I personally hated. I used to drive at night a lot when I'd go on road trips as a sales rep. I'd be coming home and I'm like, Art Bell's on. Oh, God, I got to change the channel. Heard a few of his shows. I did not like him. I mean, people like him. Cool. Go for it. Didn't like him. And so I never paid. I knew George from another website, and I knew George was in love with Art Bell. He would have given him a handy if he had a chance. And he found this new site, this Art Bell site, that supposedly loved him. And he told us on this other site called SF Redbook about it. And two of us went over there after we saw some of his antics. But I'll tell you those stories. Well, you've heard those stories here already. But I'll tell it again. But let's just watch this now. A guy named George. See, it was paradise. According to, if you watch this, go ahead and rewatch it. We're at 8 minutes and 24 seconds in. I had no reason to bore you with the 8 minutes of her telling you what paradise this site was until now.
And I really think that's when this place went to hell.
Yeah, George Senda came in and the site went to hell.
He came from you guys, some of my people know George Senda's YouTube
people
channel.
She has people.
George is a very controversial figure. He came from another forum, and I'm just not going to get into that. He came over from another forum. On that other forum, there were a large group of people who didn't like him at all. So when George Senda joined Bellgab, he brought all his trolls with him.
Okay. Yes. On this other forum, not a lot of people liked him. Most people just got tired of him and ignored him. He was done. He begged for money, never really got much. And on that forum, which was SF Redbook, and like again, you'll hear my stories about the groceries that I'll tell them anytime you want. Yelling at a girl who brought him groceries because he wanted money and all that stuff. People were sick of him. And there was three maybe 4 or 5 of us who actually actively still paid attention to George. Most people were just moved on. It wasn't what the site was about. The site had all the same sorts of things: politics, random topics, sports, everything, plus the subject of the site, which was escorts. I'll tell you that. I mean, it was an escort site. She seems embarrassed by it. I'm not. I was on the site. I'm not embarrassed. But it had other stuff. I mean, I went there out of curiosity, found friends, and talked to them. It really didn't matter that that's what it was all about, essentially. Just like I have a lot of friends on Bellgab. I don't give a crap about Art Bell. Don't give a crap about the supernatural or any of that stuff. But you get into the other forums and you make friends. It just happens. So, whatever. Neither one are shameful things in my life that I was on those sites dedicated to a thing I'm not super into, you know. I just somehow got in, you know, on the site, and that's it. But all these people that came over and ruined the site, there's 2 of us. There was me. I came over. I was Kal-El on the other site because I love Superman. And I picked up a name, Rally Squirrel, because he was a baseball thing at the time. There was a funny song, and I'll tell the story if you want, but it's just, really, it was a squirrel that ran onto the field, and the baseball team started to rally after that, and someone made up a funny song called Rally Squirrel. I just had it in my mind, and when I signed up to go check out what George was up to on the site, I picked that name. And one other guy who logged in as Digital Pig Snuggler, which was a play on someone he did not like's name, who was Digital Fortress. That's it. 2 of us. And when we came in, we tried to tell people, because I saw, I think it was a drone, Area 51 drone, who was trying to give, George was begging for money to buy a radio. And we both saw it and started talking to each other on the other side, saying, I can't believe this fucker's coming over here looking for money, because that's all he ever did. On the other place, look for money, and he couldn't find money anymore. He got some, and well ran dry. So he came to Bellgab, and someone was going to give him $50 or so, and we looked at the posts, and George was actually saying, you know, did you send a certified check? I need the tracking number. It's not here yet, because he needed it. And I don't know if he ever even bought the radio after he got the money. But he needed this money to buy a satellite radio because Art Bell was going to have a new show on. And he made a big deal about it, and someone offered him the money. And and we both said, we got to tell these people what a scumbag George is. So 2 of us. There were 2 of us that made the whole site toxic for her.
And then it became like it just became like a George Senda thing. George Senda got his own thread.
Okay, George did get his own thread. That was actually before I came over. And that had more to do with George just is a long-winded guy, and he doesn't know how to he'll make a post, and then if he says everything he says in it, if he thinks of it, he goes, well, this is a great thread, and he'll post a picture of thread. But he won't just post one picture, he'll post every picture he sees on the Google image search. And then he would copy an article, and he would post everything right down to the ads. He would copy and paste the ads. And then he put like 5 YouTube videos and 10 more pictures. And he made these insane posts. So one guy, Mud King, he made up a forum and said, "This is the general musings of Falke, where we will contain his crap." Okay, let's continue.
Over here. And it became people who either hated George or people like me who just saw what we thought was a kindly older gentleman.
It was all people like her.
And we saw a bunch of people picking on him.
It was not a bunch of people. It was two of us.
Well, at least I did.
They grew
then I kind of learned the hard
as people
way.
learned the hard way, as she said. She just took a really long time.
Well, my opinions or my stance on George Senda changed over here in terms of I went from white knighting him, trying to defend him, to, kind of generally being disgusted with him. So.
Okay.
And then I don't know what the hell's going on over here. Yeah, they made a thread about me. So the heartbreaking
let's
thing
get
for
to
me
that.
Over here on Bellgab,
the heartbreaking thing here, as we listen to her talk very carefully to choose each word so she doesn't accidentally say sexual predator again. Anyway, what happened over here, look at this. This is a post I made, Rally Squirrel, on February 16th of 2019. All I posted was, looks like there's another George Senda commenter out there. Former Bellgabber Aaron F. has her take on Falke, and we see there's a removed video, which is, she removes everything. She made, I think I was away, if I remember right. I don't know how I found it. I know I was searching George. I think I put in George Senda or Falke. I'll look it on YouTube, and it may have been because I was on a computer that wasn't mine, so I didn't have him bookmarked, and I wanted to see what he was up to, and that popped up. Someone else was talking about Falke, and that's George Senda. And I said, oh my God, I know her. She used to post on Bellgab. I'm going to tell Bellgab, and people actually liked her. This whole idea that I thought, I'm not positive why the forum or the thread for her was made. I'm going to believe the guy, he made it as a fan. I thought he might have made it as a distraction towards me. I think I was wrong when I said that. I think he was a fan. Because people liked her. Graper liked her. Everyone liked her. People liked her. They liked her videos about Falke. It was up until one thing. And let's see what she thinks that one thing was.
Is a lot of the people who are now my biggest haters on Bellgab, and they've even renamed it themselves. Bellgab,
okay, that has something to do with a comment made in a video calling it Bell-Chan.
I hope.
MV thought it was funny, so he put it in there.
Because it totally has become a little bit
forget this stuff.
4channy, 8channy.
It hasn't. It's the same site it's ever been.
It really has become like a festival of trolls over here. Just nasty, dirty people fighting, yelling, calling each other names, doing horrible things. It was not like that when I joined. And
it's the same site when she joined. It's just some people got mean to her.
In the Art Bell thread, the George Norrie sucks thread.
Let's see, how long is it going to take to get to what she says?
George Norrie is a coast-to-coast AM host either. And then I jumped in the Senda thread. But meanwhile, I really came to like many. There really isn't anybody I didn't like over here. I liked everybody over here. I even, believe it or not, in my messages, I have a heartfelt, touching,
believe it. He's a nice guy.
Message, personal message in my DMs from Richard Graper himself.
Started not being nice to you because of something you did, and we will find out what that is.
Fell down,
and it was horrible.
Cracked his head,
and you still
hematoma,
do it.
Brain injury. He was in a coma for a month, and it was bad. And Richard Graper sent me a really nice message, just saying people care about you here. And
it's getting kind of long.
So I
really want to tell you what she did, but I want to get to the point where she can't believe what happened.
Anyway, I liked everybody here, and then I started a YouTube channel, and for about 2 seconds people liked it, but then they quickly decided they didn't like it. I believe I'm used to it by now. They decided I was an e-beggar. What do they call it? A soft e-beggar.
No. I may have made a post or two about you being an e-beggar while everyone was still enamored by you. I think I did. I would have to look through the records. I could do it. I may have been the first one to bring it up, that you're an e-beggar, and called you Girl Senda. I'm pretty sure I'm the first that called you Girl Senda. But what turned everybody on you? It's what you did to Jason Callan and how you reacted and still react to what you did to Jason Callan. You came right out and accused Jason Callan of being a sexual predator. And then you decided, well, he was just giving me too much attention. It made me uncomfortable, and I used the wrong words. And that was your apology, which I don't accept it. Some people did. I think at the time Jason did, which is fine. It's not my job to accept an apology for anyone else. And I backed off. I mean, I never really went after you for some of the other things. But as you talk now, you'll come out crying that someone went after you at work. And then you would say, I would never go after someone in real life. I never get real. I would never go after someone's work. Yet, you made a video, more than one video, and you've deleted them. And I doubt anyone has them. But you did it. And there's a lot of us who saw it. You said you were going to call his work. You said you were going to tell him that he did stuff he didn't do. You said you were going to call the police and have them go out to his house. You went real. You've done it. And now that you cry that someone has done it, it's like, yeah, it sucks. But don't tell us you've never done it when we've seen you do it. We get reminded of that every time that comes up. And that's why people keep coming after you. Because you've never, ever apologized for that stuff. You apologized for using the wrong words. And I think he told me in a post once where he was 2 phone calls away from a restraining order, but you solved it by blocking him. It was that easy. You blocked him and it was over. Yet you did say you were going to call his work. You said it. So every single time you come on and cry that someone has called your work, someone has said they will call your work, every single time you cry about that and still leave that dangling acknowledgement out there, you remind us of what a bitch you are. What a horrible cunt you are. And that's why you get all this crap. Okay. That's my 2 cents worth.